Should we hold the mics? People said it couldn't be done. But here we are, Wax Trax. I said 1:30 a lot on TV, and there's not. Kind of. There you go. When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Very true. All right, well, thanks for coming, everyone. To say that we weren't expecting this turnout is an understatement. As everyone knows, this is an event to promote James's appearance on a little show called Late Night with Seth Myers. We're excited to have both him and Kalyn Heffernan in the shop today.
Thank you.
We're at Wax Trax. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Wax Trax Records is the oldest record store in the state. We've been here since 1978, and in that time, our shop has been graced with a number of iconic in-store guests, such as the Ramones, the Violent Femmes, Mazzy Star, Social Distortion. We've had local legends like Wheelchair Sports Camp perform. And a first for the shop, a comedian. James Acaster.
Am I the first comedian?
I'm sure there's been some funny other musicians that have come through as well.
Mazzy Star's pretty funny.
Notoriously. I kind of wanted to take a second to let everyone know that while this is an incredible gathering we've had today, there's a crisis happening outside. If anyone wants to donate to the Rocky Mountain Immigrant Advocacy Network, we at Wax Trax have been donating to them. We invite you to join us. There are QR codes around the shop with a code to donate to them directly, but they provide free legal services for immigrant children and adults. Our neighbors need it more than ever. Our friends need it more than ever. Please support where you can.
First.
All right, we're going to get started with just a couple intros. We have a couple questions on our end for you too, and then we'll open the floor to an audience Q&A. So James Acaster needs a little to no introduction. Who by chance saw him at the Paramount last night? That was the wrong answer because you actually saw Craig Simons. It was a fantastic show. He's obviously one of the most clever minds in comedy. We're delighted to have him in the shop, but way more than a comedian, James is also a presenter, a podcaster, an author, and a musician. There go my cards. Something that we were highlighting a lot in the initial promo for the event is this album right here. Do you care to explain it a little yourself?
Yeah, this is called Partygate of Purgatory, an album by Attempts, which is a 39 strong collective, 39 people. Started making it as a mockumentary, and then that got cancelled. If you know Louis Theroux in the UK, he was going to make a mockumentary with me. We made a taster for that mockumentary, and then COVID happened, so it got cancelled. But it was about me becoming a serious musician. So I recorded a lot of drums in that taster tape we did. COVID happened, and then I had hours of drums, and then I just started sending that to loads of musicians that I loved, and we accidentally kind of made this album that took over my life for all of COVID, really, all of the pandemic. This is mainly what I was thinking of, to the point where I did neglect my duties as a comedian, I'd say, and that's how me and Kalyn properly met and started working together as well. And I'm just one of the most proud I've ever been of anything that I've ever done, and it's one of the weirdest things I've ever done as well. Yeah, I'm very proud of this album.
We got every copy we could from our distro for this, and that was 18 copies. So if you're lucky enough to grab one, our front desk staff can help you out with that a little bit later.
But there's a tribute James Acaster album called Wheelchair Sports Camp, if you can't get that. There's other one.
Very true.
Yeah, the Wheelchair Sports Camp album.
Yeah, and Kalyn over here is obviously from one of the most iconic bands in Denver, local legend. We're delighted to have you in the shop again. And you have an album coming out soon on Alternative Tentacles.
We do. It's coming. We're gonna throw a record release party at Meow Wolf May 23rd. And I bet we'll do something fun here before.
I certainly hope so. We've also got a few double 7-inches available for sale. This is from the Wheelchair Sports Camp Meow Wolf installation. Kalyn, what can you tell us about this?
Yeah, so Greg and I built a room in Meow Wolf. It's a wheelchair space kitchen. There's wheelchairs hanging from the ceiling. They almost fell on all of us. They are now safely up there. And years later, we got to finally shoot a music video and put it on vinyl under Greg's local record label Unit E, and so it's a double 7-inch, both of the tunes playing in our room. You could play them at the same time. There's stickers that I drew inside. You can like build your own little room. It's very cute. It's very cute.
And you and Greg will maybe be able to sign some copies after.
Greggy and I are here to sign them as the James Acaster tribute.
No, I love it. You
Great.
played it.
Well, we're delighted to have you both in the shop. I guess my first question is kind of about the connect between you two. So when you were searching for collaborators for Thames, how did you come across Wheelchair Sports Camp?
So I first discovered Wheelchair Sports Camp when I got obsessed with the music of 2016. It's the 10-year anniversary now of the greatest year for music of all time. Well, the original bad year in general. You know, it was the start of this bad run we're currently on. But like musically, best of all time. And one of the albums that came out that year was No Big Deal by Wheelchair Sports Camp. And I discovered that and just really loved it. And when I was working on this project, a lot of it was just like listening to stuff that I needed vocals on and just thinking who would be best on this bit and just reaching out to people. And bizarrely, I think maybe because it was COVID and everyone was locked down and looking for stuff to do, my first choices for everything just said yes. And Kalyn was my first choice for like 2 verses on the project. One was on the album and one was on the accompanying EP, which is also on the vinyl. And yeah, I just emailed you. I can't even remember how I got your. It's maybe via Bandcamp or something, and emailed you, and then we did some Zooms and like started working on the songs.
It was awesome.
And what was your thought process when James first reached out about it?
How the fuck did you hear about this? Why are you contacting me? He like told me other people in the project, and I'm like, what? Me? Who? Yeah. And it was just so cool because like listening to the tunes, it was like very in the same spirit that I think Wheelchair Sports Camp is already writing. It was like very avant-garde, very out there, but actually maybe even a little more out there than my usual stuff. There's like a song that has no time signature, and I'm a rapper's rapper, and I hit up Greg and was like, tell me the pocket, I need the fucking pocket. And it was locked down and I was a mess, and I was like trying to record and feel myself in like such a depressing time, which I think the songs kind of worked off of. And yeah, I did a scratch track that I was like super mumbly and depressed, and I was like, I'm re-recording it, and he's like, no, I like the first version better.
I used the one that you did straight into your iPhone.
Yeah.
And sent it to me and were like, this is just a like a practice. I'm going to do a proper studio one.
And I'm like,
Yeah. I was like, unless you're going to sound as sleepy, I don't want to use that studio one. Because this is exactly what I need.
like, it's your project, it's your project.
All right. Well, you mentioned a lot of you probably know that James's favorite music year is 2016. I know there's a lot of folks that learned about this a little too late and couldn't come, and there was a comment with a question for James, and I wanted to share it real quick.
Love it.
Kind of about that. So, we're now 10 years on from 2016. Do you think 2026 has a chance to be another great year in music, or do you think the confluence of events that made 2016 the greatest year ever are truly once in a lifetime?
Whoever came up with that question deserved to get in, and I feel bad that they didn't, because that is the most serious question anyone's ever asked me about anything I've ever done. I think 2026 does have the potential because post-COVID, there's been so many great years, like really packed great years for music, because everyone like was got all these projects that then got like delayed, and we're still in that domino effect now, where people are like having to like sit on things and then release them. So each year, last year was amazing. 2022, 2023 really stand out as being really packed years as well. And already this year, like, you know, it's only February, but like there's been a few albums that I really love that like I'm really getting into, and it's quite early in the year for that to happen, so I'm pretty confident that this year could be a good one. I mean, part of the reason that 2016 was so good was because Kendrick scared everyone in 2015 and they didn't release their albums, and then they all did it the following year. So I don't know if people were scared last year, but I think the pandemic effect is still happening, so
Very much so. All right, I got one more question for the both of you, and then we're going to open it up to the audience. So the Desert Island record question is overdone. So we're kind of putting a twist on it. If you were going to send all of your enemies to a desert island, and you had loudspeakers rigged to play one album on repeat, which album would it be and why?
So, oh God. Okay, like one that they were just not. Okay, I've got to choose something that has no depth to it whatsoever, so it doesn't get better with repeat listens. That's really, or maybe it would be something that would be like really, because look, I wouldn't want to say this to try and get cheap applause or anything, but obviously right now, I think. Imagine if you sent Trump to an island and then you played like a really, really great album that gets better with listens. It's all made by immigrants. I'm trying to think what you could send him there with. And he just really gets into it with each listen. It's like, oh fuck, I really like this. I'm trying not to like it. I don't want to like this. And then get him deported from the island when at the point where he really loves the album, deported. I don't know what it would be, but like, yeah, I'll have a think.
That's a good answer. I think I don't even know her fucking albums, but probably Sabrina, that chick.
Sabrina
Carpenter.
Oh man, I mean, there's a video online of me singing every single word of "Please, Please, Please," so I can't co-sign this.
Very fair. All right, you guys want to ask some questions? Okay, let's start with some hands. I'll call 3 of you up if you want to form a line near that mic.
Oh wow.
Let's call 3 people at a time.
Sure.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what Delaney said.
It is. Thank you.
3.
All right, hands up if you want to ask a question. All right, you right there, and you in the back with the hats. Come on, one at a time.
Price is right.
It's exciting. So is this mic here, I think?
Yeah. Go ahead and turn it towards you a little.
Okay. Sorry.
And just a quick note for everyone. I'm sure there's a lot of folks that want to ask questions. If you can please keep it brief, that would be very appreciated.
Why?
What object do you wish was edible that isn't?
What object do I wish was edible that isn't? This is the first one.
Good question.
I would say, oh. Do you know what? I'm gonna go about this. This is something, and this isn't my original thought. On the podcast I do Off Menu, which is a food podcast, we did a a tour of the UK, and an audience member said this, and everyone in the room agreed with them, because it smells so good that you just wish it was edible, is fruit shampoo. Is when you smell that like fruit shampoo, it smells like the best like Willy Wonka drink ever, and it isn't. It would obviously kill you. And I wish that a bottle of that like pink fruit shampoo, you could just chug that, and it would just taste like, you know. Don't look grossed out. You asked the fucking weirdest question ever. You have no idea how lucky you are I'm playing along with this shit. The fruit shampoo, yeah. Next.
No way, I want to answer that.
Do you have one?
Am I the only one who wants to eat like thick, chunky oil paint?
Yeah.
I'm like, let me lick it. They're like, get away.
Yeah.
Hi, I lost my voice.
All good, man.
By the way, shout out to Kalyn. What you're doing for the music scene is tremendous, and Youth on Record, and yeah, really appreciate it. Hi, Craig.
Hello.
So, of your entire material and discography, last night was great. Got to see your show, great material. Some people, we would say clever, maybe. I think James Acaster could never. But in terms of James Acaster's material, there's one particular joke that I don't think you've ever got to finish. It has to do with what Winston Churchill is best known for. Mm-hmm. A, fighting on the beaches. B, goddamn, I love these peaches. Yeah. And I'm wondering, have you ever been able to get it out, or what is the rest of that joke?
Yeah, so this was a joke I did on Mock the Week, and it was something like least likely exam questions, and I had to get up, and it was, which one of these is a Winston Churchill quote? A, we will fight them on the beaches. B, goddamn, I love these peaches. And I kept on laughing at goddamn, I love these peaches every time. And not being able to get to the end of it. And usually on Mock the Week, if you mess up, they don't include it in the final edit. And they've included every time I messed it up in the edit. And it was annoying, because on the day, I did finish the joke, and they didn't put that in the edit. And this is like over a decade later, people are still, you're not to know this, but you're the millionth person who's asked me this, and it's all completely their fault for not putting it in the edit. So they absolutely did me there. But it wasn't, also it's even worse, because like, I think they didn't put it in the edit because actually the intended punchline isn't that funny. So the intended punchline was just like, see, man, I love smoking cigars. And that was it. And like, it was one of those ones where, because it's Mock the Week, it's all new material, you've never said it before, so you don't really know if it's going to work. And that was a rare one where the second line was actually the funniest line, but I didn't know it. So that ends up what they used. But then everyone's like, but what's the third one? He goes, something not as good. But yeah, it was, man, I love smoking cigars. But they decided not to put it in.
No, I know. Appreciate it.
Oh, nice to meet you. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry to the first person that I was just nicer to that guy. Apologies.
Let's get some more people in the queue. Hands up for questions. You in the white shirt, you with the glasses, I'm looking at you, and you in the blue shirt.
Hello.
Hello. So the Winter Olympics just kicked off. This is a two-parter. One, what's your favorite Winter Olympics sport? And two, what are your thoughts on the fact that you're currently in the city that I think is the only city that ever turned down the Olympics in 1976?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Do you have a favourite Winter Olympic sport, Kalyn?
No.
No. Okay.
Fucking hate the winter.
I didn't know that was an option. No to both then, I guess. I mean, everyone likes the luge, right?
Yes.
If that's not your favourite one, either you have to actually be a Winter Olympian, or it has to be the luge, because just seeing one person get just like hucked down a slide, it's very unnecessary. I'd like to know what brings them to realising they're a lugist, and I would say that's very cool to discover that. Well, why did Denver turn it down? Turn a host in it, or?
Yeah, we were going to host. The voters said no because of environmental concerns.
We hate the
It would
Olympics.
get too popular.
It's those environmental concerns because you hate the Olympics. I didn't know that. I would have done that at my gig last night. I would have played to that a bit more at the gig.
We're only a sports town for the Broncos and the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Everybody else we don't like.
Yeah, Kalyn's been educating me all morning about the Broncos and the Nuggets, which I think is a really funny name for a team. The Nuggets, so they're a kids' team. Playing the Nuggets today. Are their parents here to pick them up after? Good luck, little Nuggets. Hello.
All right, so curious, what about Denver, Colorado most and least?
You from England?
Originally, but yeah.
Have we met before?
Don't believe
You
so.
do genuinely look familiar.
Yeah.
Maybe know some. Sorry, what were you going to say, right?
No, it's all right. So what most and least align with your preconceived notions of this place?
So yeah, it's my first time in Denver. What most aligns with my preconceived notions and what least aligns with my Okay, what most aligns with it is I was told I would feel nauseous. And that has happened a couple of times. So I'm chugging the water, trying to make myself feel normal. What least aligns with it, I guess, how easy it has been for everyone to find Wax Trax. So I was led to believe not many people were going to show up at this. So yeah, this is not what I had in my head when I said yes to Wax Trax, and I'm absolutely delighted. Hello.
Hi. Show last night, flawless.
Thank you so
Flawless.
much.
Loved your podcast, Perfect Sounds. Was wondering if you could ever consider doing more music-based podcasts, perhaps. Two of you in the future. I don't know. What do you think, man? What do you think?
Any excuse to do anything with Kalyn, absolutely. I mean, that podcast was great. It was with the BBC, which meant it was a lot of hassle when it didn't need to be. It's much easier making podcasts with your friends, I've found, than with an actual official corporation. So if I did do one again, it would just be with some buddies. Got a few buddies on a music text chain who I really enjoyed chatting about music with, so that would be cool. But we'd have to think of a format that would work. I love a format. For podcasts, so even though there's a lot of podcasts I like or have appeared on where it's just we just get together and chat. That's nice, but I don't want to do that every week and feel formless, or to go in and go, we've got a plan and here's what we're going to do. So I liked the whole bring an album that I like. We did a Wheelchair Sports Camp episode of the Perfect Sounds one, and I'd bring an album that I like and just send it to a comedian, and they come on and we talk about how they feel about it. But I did find luckily on the Wheelchair Sports Camp one, Harriet Kemsley was on that episode, really loved the album, that was great. Every now and again, they would not like the album, and often there were musicians that I had made contact with, and they would text me going, what the fuck, man? Just put out an episode and someone's absolutely slagging my album off and said it's shit. And I was like, well, I was saying it was good. So your opinion means nothing on that podcast. You're too addicted to the music of 2016, of course you liked it. So I would have to think that through a little bit more, but yeah, it would be fun. Hello.
What advice would you have for somebody who lost their fantasy football league and has to do 5 minutes of stand-up?
That's an interesting. So I'm not really across fantasy football leagues, and I didn't know that was how they worked. Whoever loses has to become a stand-up comedian. Didn't know my career was a booby prize.
That's not how you got here?
Yeah. I lost my fantasy football league, and now here I am. Where are you doing this 5 minutes of stand-up? Let's promote it and get everyone from Wax Trax. What time is it? Where is it? Yeah.
I don't know. I got to find an open mic, but I was thinking Crazy Mountain Brewery.
Crazy Mountain Brewery. Okay, hopefully you get in there. I mean, look, your first 5 minutes is not going to be good. So just make your peace with that. That's fine. And that stand-up comedy, especially at the beginning, is not about absolutely nailing it. It's about the fact that as soon as you step on stage, you've done something that most people wouldn't dare do. So remember that. Also, you could go... here's what I'm going to tell you not to do, because I reckon this will be tempting. It'll be really tempting to go on stage and tell them, I'm here because I lost my fantasy football league.
Right.
They ain't going to give a shit about that. But don't do that. That's not funny to them. Just do like 5 minutes of like, just sit down for like a few afternoons, write down stuff you think is funny, that's like your sense of humor. Just go for that. And no matter what you do, when you come off after that 5 minutes, I think you'll feel pretty great that you did it. Do you kind of secretly want to do it anyway?
I think I'll hopefully enjoy it.
Yeah.
I have zero material right now, so.
Yeah. Was there anything you had in your head you'd like to try it one day, or was this just you lost the football league and now you're in it?
I mean, I lost, now I'm in it.
You lost it.
I think I'm.
Dude, that is horrible.
Yeah.
You gotta wanna be up there. Yeah. I don't know. What comedians do you like? Present company excluded.
Craig Simon's great.
Craig Simon's is great. Yeah. Just go on and pretend to be a tribute act of yourself.
That nobody knows.
That'll work. Kalyn, do you have any advice for people getting on stage for the first time?
I still haven't done my first 5 minutes of comedy.
You're funny though.
I've been saying I would do it, but I haven't lost any bets, so.
But you do jokes on stage and stuff.
Jokes. Try to be tiny. Wear a wheelchair, it always gets people. If people don't laugh, they'll feel sorry for you. You'll be fine.
Actually, not a bad idea. The audience don't know that you're not normally in a wheelchair.
I feel like if I walk to go get a drink at the bar after, though, that might not.
Yeah. Don't go.
Preferably a place that you could fit your wheelchair, not this situation, but yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Good luck. That's a dead man walking right there. That poor fucking guy.
All right, let's see some hands. All right.
Can we call somebody?
It's funny to say stuff into the mic like they can't hear us when they're walking away. That fucking guy's dead. He's going to humiliate himself at that gig. Man, I can't even imagine doing your debut stand-up gig and you didn't even want to do it.
You see this chair I'm on? Being held down by a cinder block.
Oh yeah, it is. Jesus.
And it's still wonky.
So you don't roll away.
I don't think we've gotten new chairs here in 30 years.
30 years.
40 years.
Hi.
I don't know.
I just have 2 quick questions.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite comedian?
Who is my favourite comedian? I always say Josie Long, and I think that is still true. She's a English comic. She was the reason that I wanted to be a comedian, because she was just doing stuff that there's no bounds to what she was doing. It made me realise she can do anything in stand-up. It doesn't have to be really limited. And still to this day, I think she's just always innovating and doing new things, increasingly getting better, even though she started before I even started stand-up. So yeah, she's always been biggest inspiration. She's great.
I'll have to check her out. And one quick question, are you still receiving cabbages?
I am still receiving cabbages. Someone cabbaged me in Philadelphia and they can fucking suck it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Question for both of you guys. What are some new musical acts that you guys might want to work with soon, or different genres you might want to try out? Because I know that I would personally love a King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard collaboration if that can happen.
I mean, at this day and age, if King Gizzard won't collab with you, then you must be shit. They do albums with absolutely everyone. They release about 50 albums a year. If you can't get in with them, then you must have really not been made the grade. Obviously, I would love to do a King Gizzard collab. Who would I really love to do? I mean, there's so many people who there's some people that I am working on something at the minute and trying to get people involved, so I don't really want to say in case they don't. Well, I'm going to try and get Richard Dawson to go on something. Richard Dawson is a folk artist from the UK who really but sings like he's in a black metal group. I'd like to get him on something. And what genres would I like to try? I'd really like to try just the most horrible, noisy, a hyper noise band, and be in that, just the most horrible thing, and all the songs last 20 seconds. But also I'd like to do that this is genuinely something I've got in my head, is collab with 2 other people who also aren't musicians. So you got a comedian on drums and an actor and a TV presenter, and we're doing the most horrible music. And the album's like, like 50 seconds long, and we just put it out like that. That would be the dream, I think, for me. What about you?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm just so lucky I got to make music with this fool. That's cool. And, yeah, we were hoping to get Kimmy Dawson at our album release, and we've made a little bit of music together, but not for real. So I'd love for that to happen. Erica Brown's in the house. She's a fucking legend. And we've been talking about making music together for a long time.
Is it one of those things where you talk about and then it's like, but will it happen?
But it's gonna fucking happen.
Hell yeah.
Okay? It's gonna happen. Jello Biafra is on our record twice, and now I can't get him off of anything. So I used to want to play music with him, but now I can't fucking get him away from me.
I recommend Rat Poison.
Oh,
personally.
Rat Poison.
Oh no, just Poison.
Oh, got it. I was like, cool band name.
Just killed him.
I thought you were answering the what would you like to eat that you can't eat. Rat poison has always looked delicious.
I mean, who hasn't been curious?
Sure.
I like Lambrini girls.
Yeah.
They would be awesome to collaborate with.
Cool.
I'm pretty open, whatever.
Everyone but Sabrina Carpenter.
Everybody but. Although, could I ever say no to a feature on that fucking album? No. Would she ever dare think about 2016 and our album? No.
Be funny to find out that Sabrina Carpenter is equally as obsessed with the music of 2016 as I am. I just pipped her to the post with the book.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey, man.
So my name's James too. Sorry, dude.
Are you shitting me?
And I'm also a stand-up comedian like you also.
Get out of town, James.
So we're the same.
Same person. And we're both in Wax Trax.
Yeah. I did want to ask you, as a stand-up who becoming kind of disillusioned with some of the successful stand-up right now, and it's kind of disenchanting a little bit. I wonder if you had any advice as someone who I think is a great stand-up about how to keep your spirits up and keep creatively inspired.
I think just kind of, it's not getting dispirited by those comics is just never putting anyone on a pedestal no matter how much you like them. So a lot of those guys were my heroes growing up. Some of the reasons why I started stand-up or started wanting to do anything in comedy. Yeah. And I was actually thinking about that this morning and thinking it's nuts how I kind of really don't like their stuff now and I find it very upsetting.
Right.
But then luckily that doesn't depress me as much as it would because I never was these guys are gods. So never have them that way. And then just I don't know, you just gotta continually keep yourself in check. I think never believe that you're you don't need to think that you're shit. But don't think I'm the answer. I'm so good. It's always I could be wrong with this. I could be wrong with everything that I'm saying on stage, and completely open to people going, yeah, that's wrong. So that when they do say that, you don't go fucking no and double down and triple down. It's that you go, yeah, maybe that is wrong, and then you get better as a comic because you challenge that logic, and most likely it'll be funnier if it rings true with people rather than it's a bunch of goddamn lies. So yeah, I think just constantly challenging yourself doing that. Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you both.
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers, man.
All right, let's
James,
just
I can't believe that guy's called James.
All right.
Orange shirt is so close.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you.
Yeah. Let's do you two with the glasses on your head. Yes.
Look, I'm not leaving until everyone's had their questions answered, so don't worry. If this is of my own doing. I promoted it so much I could not let anyone go.
All right. You put me on to Stillness in Wonderland by Little Sims and Atrocity Exhibition by Danny Brown, which I think was 2016.
Both of them were.
Was curious if you've heard their latest albums and what you thought about them, and if you had any recommendations in that same vein.
Yeah. Both their latest albums I really liked. The Danny Brown one's not available on vinyl yet, but
soon.
It's available soon on vinyl. Yeah, and that was kind of that was one of my favourite first listens of last year because it's so like tailor-made for me, really. Danny Brown with a load of like hyper pop acts and stuff. So like, yeah, I really love that album and love the Little Sims one. I'm looking forward to seeing where Little Sims goes. She's not done a bad project, and like now that she's like moving away from like the people that she used to collaborate with, it's gonna be really cool to see what she does next. Was there another part to the question?
Just if there's any other albums like that you'd recommend, recent
ones that I'd recommend. Oh, well, from last year was such a good year for rap and hip hop. It was so good. I guess my favourite ones from last year were the Old Sweatshirt album. I loved that. The Open Mike Eagle album, Aesop Rock album. Aesop Rock did 2 great albums, and like I bought one of them today. It was the last copy of it, so bad luck. McKinley Dixon album from last year, the Backwash album from last year. There was like too much good stuff. It was really, really good. And I'm sure I'm missing stuff that like I equally loved, but like, yeah, I know, buddy. So yeah, maybe I'd recommend those. I'm trying to think if there's any like UK acts, like rap artists who I can like quickly throw in and recommend. But like Little Sims is kind of
she was just here.
Dominating. Was she?
That was awesome.
Last year.
Awesome. She's so good. I mean, she's like one of the greats. I've seen her live a couple of times now, and she's just amazing. So like, yeah, that's everything off the top of my head. I'm gonna go away and be annoyed. Kalyn, you got to be able to recommend some rap artists more than me, anyway. That, like,
probably not, honestly, because I'm a rapper, so I don't listen to rap as much anymore. Cause
yeah, you never listen.
I'm immersed by it, but yeah, I fucking love Little Sims. She's definitely top for me right now.
Oh, the By Storm album from this year was great. It came out at the end of last month, I think, and they used to be called Injury Reserve, and now they're called By Storm. And if you haven't heard Injury Reserve's album, by the time I get to Phoenix, it's a modern classic. It's so good. Perfect. Nothing else sounds like it. And this new one, because they're now called By Storm, is fucking amazing. Cool. So yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
This is a question for both of you guys. Do you have a favorite political album or album that touches on politics? And if so, what has like resonated with you about it?
This one, I do have one.
Yeah, go.
I've been going back to D'Angelo's The Black Messiah again, and at the time of that album, and I got to see him here at the Ogden, which was unbelievable, but like that was and is like one of the best protest albums for me ever. Till It's Done, that song is like, yeah, I could cry talking about it.
I mean, I say just because I'm now just thinking about 2016 because it's been brought up. Like I don't think about it all the time anyway. More Mother's Fetish Bones album is and like everything that she does is like amazing and really politically charged and educational as well and full of like righteous anger. So like, yeah, I'd recommend anything that she does, and that's a pretty good place to start. That one, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, more hands. All right, green shirt.
Sounds so disrespectful. I started it with orange top.
You right there. Yes, you. And you with the blue beanie. If you're wearing someone on your head, good luck.
Hello.
Higher chance.
My question / comment is big fan of Off Menu, and I love the whole dream meal concept. Are there any answers that anyone has said over the course of your podcast that have really stuck with you, whether they were really bad answer or really good answer?
I mean, there's loads of really gross answers that we go on about all the time. You know, I mean, Joel Dommett, UK comedian, picking a protein shake as his dream drink. Still never gone away. Finn Wolfhard came on the podcast and said a Negroni slushy from somewhere in Chicago, and I tried it literally like 2 days ago when I was in Chicago, so I had thought about it a lot since he mentioned it, and it was delicious. So a lot of the time those things are great when people come on and like shout out a dish. And Kate Winslet said that she made a bread and butter pudding, like a bread pudding but with donuts, and all the donuts were different flavors, and I think about that every waking hour. I would like to eat that, yeah, especially if it's made by Winslet.
Hi guys. Do you have a favorite instrument to play or feature on an album?
I mean, I love playing the drums. It's like pretty much all I can play, and especially a kid's drum kit. I think the smaller the drum kit, the more I enjoy playing it. I think I can just get around it quicker, and the least amount of options as well. If there's those massive kits that have so much stuff, I just have choice paralysis, like I'm scrolling through Netflix. So I'd much rather it was a small. I've got 5 options, and I can just hammer the shit out of it. Things that feature on an album, I'm a sucker for a saxophone. If there's like some sax on an album, then I really want to hear what that's doing. Yeah, and fucking the baritone sax as well. If they're slamming that on there and doubling that up with the bass, that's pretty awesome.
Super cool.
I'm similar actually. I only kind of know the drums and like beat machines, so it's not. I used to think like I don't play instruments, and recently Greg and I switched places, and I played drums for the first time since middle school. And he played shitty guitar, and it was the most fun I've ever had. And this toddler over here, I won't say his name because he'll throw a fit, but he has a kit that fits me perfectly. So I get to practice on that, and I'm also a sucker for horns. Like I could do away with almost all guitars, and just horns is fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a couple questions from outside. Is that right? All right.
This is great. We're going to be here all day. I don't have a problem with that, by the way. It is funny. Hope no one was going to watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're all just here for you.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys are very prolific creators, like books, music, podcasts. Is there an art form that you would never touch? And then an art form that you haven't gotten into that you really want to?
I'd never touch dance. I think especially like what's the word for it now? The really artistic dance stuff. I can't remember what it's called now. I don't know why that's interpretive dance, all that. Yeah.
Movement.
Yeah, I wouldn't go near movement or anything like that. Pretty sure I wouldn't go near poetry either. I think, yeah, pretty sure I'd be bad at both of those things. Very cringe. And what would I like to do? I'd like to write a film. That's what I'd like to do. Yeah. But I don't know if I could, but I'd like to. Yeah.
What about you?
Art form I won't touch is Olympic sports. Even though the band name acts like I'm a jock, but I'm not.
That's true.
I would like someday to do comedy. I don't stand up. That can't be my only joke, and so far it is. And I've been thinking about writing about my crazy life more, because my parents are absolutely crazy and they're getting old, so more so to like talk about them.
Thank you.
Great. Are these next people from outside? Wow, welcome in. This is what the inside looks like of Wax Trax.
Outside. Two-part question for you. Favorite hole-in-the-wall venue in Denver? Like solid acts, place to check out.
I'm here. This is my favorite hole-in-the-wall place that I have got a chance to play at, and it's like out of the ordinary. We used to have a DIY venue that Greg started called Unit E up a ton of stairs. I miss that.
James, fuck, marry, kill from your season
Jesus Christ.
On Taskmaster.
You're hard into that question. I'm not going to say that I would fuck anyone who I've been on TV with. The fuck, are you crazy? Fuck Greg. Marry Phil Wang. I mean, it seems bad to say I would kill Rod because he just survived cancer.
Not
kill Alex Horn, obviously. Yeah, he put us through all that shit. Yeah.
Thanks.
Hi y'all. I'm really huge fans of both y'all, so this is very exciting. Both y'all are very funny and very musically talented, and as a fan, I can see, there's things regarding timing, and knowing the beats. That's common language between both. So I'm wondering, do you all think about that in relationship to your different talents? And then, do you have a specific perspective?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, playing drums for years and then doing stand-up, and then that was probably one of the earliest things that I noticed I could do with stand-up was the timing and the rhythm of it, and really noticing maybe from an ultra-nerdy point of view, if I hit the punchline in this way on this joke, it works better. And sometimes, I was thinking about it the other day on stage, I'd kind of fucked a joke up because I'd improvised during it, so then I had to make sure that the punchline landed in a different rhythm so that it still worked, and had to do it in the moment, and was like, you are deliberately getting it rhythmically so it works, because it will fail if you try and do it that same way again, because you've added an extra beat, and now it won't fit in that. I mean, Jerry Seinfeld goes on about how I think stand-ups in 4/4 and all of this, and you've got to hit it on the beat and all of this, and I mean, he is right in that regard. So yeah, I think about it quite consciously all the time and notice it, and I've only just started really thinking about it and thinking, why is that, and why does it work in that way, and why did you in the moment on stage know, oh, I've got to add a couple more words in, otherwise this isn't going to work. So yeah, it's weird. I don't fully understand it, to be honest, but yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, timing and words, it's kind of my everything with the rap. And in my 20s, I would fill every bar with as many syllables as possible. And, now I'm almost 40 and I'm why am I rapping so much? And the pauses make such a difference, and they're so much more impactful. So I'm kind of trying to unlearn the rapper boy in me. That's I gotta outbar everybody in this bar, And then as far as stage, on stage, I am just in awe of James's show last night, Craig's show last night, and just yeah, the way you can set something up in a, that leaves the crowd wondering what the fuck is going on, which is completely my shit, and the prank value, and then it's how do you land it? And I'm always thinking of that with banter in between songs. I could rap all day and that's easy, but when the song stops and I'm supposed to talk, I can get very uncomfortable and awkward, and then I start making fun of myself. I think that's a thing. And so trying to think a little ahead of time about my banter, or about what is the joke? What is the shtick? That's been something on my mind a lot more.
That's great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right, how many more outside questions we got? Yeah? Come on up.
Hi.
James, thanks for coming outside. That really meant a lot to me. I drove up here from Manitou. I should not be here today. I have deadlines for my graduate school, but thank you so much for stepping outside. All right, so on menu question. If you could eat at one restaurant anywhere in the world, you get to choose one guest from your off-menu podcast, but it can't be Gamble or Nish. That's too easy.
Mm-hmm.
What would you choose?
One restaurant in the world. I mean, where would I want to go? I'm trying to think about somewhere where I've not been that I really want to go to.
Well, and it doesn't have to be fancy. It could just...
No.
Right.
No, yeah. Actually, I think just right now, I'd like to, I have been there before, but I'd like to go back to Berlin and go to a place called Coda, which is a dessert restaurant. Well, basically all pastry chefs, but each course is some of them are savory. And I just really want to try their caviar popsicle again, because that's my life now. And I'd bring Kalyn there straight away, and I'd rather see you try a caviar. Actually, no, what I do is go to Pizza Hut with Kalyn, because you hate pizza. So that's my answer. Me and Kalyn go to Pizza Hut.
I hate it.
Absolutely hates pizza.
Where would you go to dinner?
Oh, Well, my husband here is the foodie, so like I don't have to make a lot of decisions around food anymore, which is awesome.
Nice.
I like hole in the walls. I like diners. You know, when we're on tour, we don't have a lot of choices. So I'm always looking for like the best hole in the wall in every town. I don't know what that is, but
that's a good answer.
I'm into it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck keeping your job or whatever that was earlier. I think you're going to get fired from.
All right, we have time for a couple more questions. All right, you in the stripes. Let's do one at the very back. You with your, yep, you. You guys want to pick a couple of people?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the person with the green and cream top, the guy with the shades on his head, and the guy with a big beard.
That's who I was gonna pick too.
Aha!
All right, go ahead.
Hi. Do you have a favorite Taskmaster challenge you did?
Yeah, I think the video game one, to recreate a video game, I got to do GTA and go around and beat Alex up. That was like really, really fun, and also everyone else did amazingly on it. And it is like, despite how it comes across on my season of Taskmaster, we weren't as competitive as we seemed, and a task where everyone is just doing great and you get to watch everyone's like brilliant interpretations of the tasks was so fun in the studio just to watch what everyone had done. So like that's always been my favorite, and it was in the final episode and felt like a little celebration at the end. Yeah.
Cool. Also, Poppadom or bread.
Oh yeah. I guess here in Denver I'm going to go for bread, and it's going to be a pizza base, and Kalyn's going to eat it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Hi there.
Hey.
So I was just listening to your episode with Hugh Davis.
Yeah.
And
he's a big get.
Yeah, and the fan fiction and The Boy.
Yep.
And I was just wondering, you actually sounded pretty horrified by it.
Sure.
I was wondering, how do you deal with fans crossing the line, and what is that like for you?
Yeah. Well, you just gotta. I guess it is weird. So. For those of you who don't know, that was like someone had written some fan fiction about me and Edge just fucking each other, and Hugh Davis was our guest, and he has a fan fiction podcast, so it wasn't inappropriate for him to raise this and tell us about it. But it was pretty harrowing to hear. It was like, fuck me, that's really quite weird that someone's written that about us. It doesn't feel great. You don't love it. And sometimes, people can come up to you after shows and say similar things or whatever, and you just have to, I think in the early days, whenever someone would say something that was a bit rude or insulting or cross the line, I would try and call them out to their face, because you're not used to it. In all of your lives, if someone came up to you and was just like, hey, I've written a story where you and your friend fuck, do you want to hear it? You'd go, absolutely not, get this person away from me. And you would say to them, that's really inappropriate. But actually, when they've already got this thing about you in their head, by trying to say to them, would you say that to anyone else? That's bad. You're not going to get rid of them. They're going to stay there. They're going to get more and more outraged that you don't like the thing that they said, that they weren't sure was going to go well. So you kind of have to go, oh, no, I don't want to hear it right now, but thanks very much. I'll see you later. And then you look at your tour manager and they go, yep, but we're going to get you out of here right now. And then you walk away. So you're just trying to give them as little as possible. And it took me a while to realize that actually that's... treating, because I think back in the day I was like, I'm a human being and they should know that, and actually it's more important that I remember in that situation, you're a human being and you need to get out of here and not engage with this. And so that's feels like treating yourself better. It's like just walking away from it, and then not being on social media or seeing the weird stuff that gets put on there is also good. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
This question is for both of you. All of us and everybody outside has plus ones who might not know about you. And so my wondering is, if we're leaving here, and I always get stuck and I'm like, oh, hold on, you have to start with Josh Whittakerman's Classic Scrapes, and no. And then 7 hours later and they've stopped listening to me. Where would you suggest we introduce them to you and to you? What's a song and what's a clip that we should show our plus ones?
Ooh, I guess start with 2016. And we had an album called No Big Deal, and yeah, mostly everything's on there. And I would say end with our new album.
Okay.
It's coming out in May.
Awesome.
I say just start with my Netflix specials repertoire. Start with those. That's it's a pretty good introduction. If they don't like the first one of that, they're not going to like the rest of it. Everything else probably is I think better in that context of having seen that first, even the stuff that's very different to it.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was going to come to the show yesterday, and he didn't because he couldn't convince his daughter to come, who didn't know my stuff. And I was like, and he said, I showed them your Bake Off appearance. And I was like, that's not what you show them to convince them to go to a stand-up comedy show. Show them my stand-up, you idiot. So yeah, I say start with the Netflix specials, and if they like the first one, then there's 3 more that they can watch, and then by the end, hopefully they'll be into.
And we'll have more soon.
More specials. Yeah, there's the show that I'm touring at the minute. I'm going to film it, and
That's not yours.
Huh?
That's
No,
not
so
yours.
Craig Simons is going to release a special.
Okay.
And he fully intends, and if it isn't released this way, then you know that he got offered a lot of money. But what Craig Simons wants to do is release this special on a Craig Simons YouTube channel for free. And so that is what Craig Simons is planning to do. And if you see it on any streaming platform, just know he got millions in order for that to happen.
This question's for you, Kalyn. Is you said you were very excited when you got reached out for this idea, and I was curious if you had the opportunity to pitch an idea back and receive the same amount of enthusiasm from James, what would be the idea?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, well, we tried it actually at 1 o'clock in the morning. Fucking Greg on the way home was like, 1:30 at Wax Trax, 1:30 at Wax Trax. Come on, Kalyn, we'll just record it and we'll just send it and see what happens. So, we tried it, and there's a demo. It's like 1:30 at Wax Trax. I only answer questions at Wax Trax. 1:30 at Wax Trax.
Yeah, I woke up to that voice note. Woke up, sent to me at 1 a.m. Clearly high as a kite.
Blame Greg. It's Greg's fault. It's Greg's fault.
I think we're just gonna have to start having all our events at 1:30.
Start at 1:30. I just want to say, I'm upset.
All right, I think this is the last question. Is that right?
Oh wow, there's a lot riding on this.
All right, no pressure.
Love you both. I really just wanted to know, when you guys are looking for new music, new comedy, things like that, what are the sort of spaces that you like to go to or to share in to kind of find new performances, new acts in the local scene, nationally? Like, how do you guys kind of go through the process of discovery these days?
I think I kind of tend to, so when I was doing that 2016 thing, I got into trying to find it wherever I could. So literally just at the end of each year, I tend to just look up all of the end of year lists, as many as I can find, and ones that stick out, you listen to those and discover new artists. I think it's on a normal day, if I'm especially on tour, I'll just do the kind of classic Bandcamp, Pitchfork, Fantano. I just see what those 3 are recommending and listen to those, buy the ones that I like. And then with comedy, it's just talking to other comedians about who's good at the minute, who we're excited about, especially on the UK scene, not on the circuit as much anymore. So it's cool talking to my friends who can say, you got to check out this person, they're really good. So yeah, probably just word of mouth for that.
Well, I get messages every time James Acaster buys something on Bandcamp. So I get a lot of insight from that. And I am fortunate enough to work with young adults in the city through Youth on Record, and so I am lucky enough to know what's happening in the 20-year-old space thanks to my mentee friends, and then Greg has a local record label, and he's always buzzing on cool new shit happening in town. And when we're touring more often, pre-COVID. That was always a great way to like figure out what's happening in different cities, but we're working our way back to that. So.
And then I'm so sorry to make this a two-parter, but I had this in my car, and would you like a free banana?
No.
Okay.
Safe. All right. Well, thanks so much, everybody. I want to thank our guests. We're so honored to have you both in the shop. It's been a delight. We have a couple of swag bags for you. Ooh.
Pass this down.
Thank you.
There's a mug in there. You can trust that we've done some toasting for you, James.
Mugs, postcards.
Also, James, we noticed that you forgot to wear your Wax Trax onesie.
Wow.
So our shop's owner, his mom, sewed one.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow. Amazing. What an honor. Thank you. That's good. Thank you. So I'll wear this in the next Q&A that we do.
Excellent. 1:30. 1:30.
1:30.